Have you ever stared at a painting so long that you swore you saw movement within its borders? Marcus thought he was losing his mind when it first happened. The landscape he'd painted 3 days earlier seemed to shimmer in his peripheral vision. When he turned to look directly, everything appeared normal. Just oil on canvas, just trees and a winding path disappearing into painted shadows. But the next morning, the path extended past the frame's edge. Not metaphorically, literally. Brushstrokes of burnt umber and raw sienna stretched across his studio wall, forming a dirt trail that shouldn't exist. Marcus touched the wall where paint met plaster. His fingers came away clean, yet the path remained, as real as anything he'd ever seen. He tried covering it with a sheet, but the painted trail showed through the fabric like light through thin paper. He moved the painting to his bedroom. The path followed, creeping along the walls like ivy, defying every law of physics he'd ever known. That night, Marcus heard footsteps, soft, deliberate steps echoing from somewhere beyond his bedroom wall. He pressed his ear against the painted trail and heard wind rustling through leaves that existed only in his imagination. Or so he thought. By the fourth day, his entire apartment had transformed. Painted grass sprouted from his kitchen floor. Watercolor clouds drifted across his ceiling, casting impossible shadows. The boundaries between his art and reality had dissolved completely. Marcus tried painting over everything with white primer, but new images bled through within hours. Darker images, twisted trees with faces in their bark. Shadows that moved independently of any light source. Figures in the distance, walking closer each time he looked. He called his sister, desperate for help. But when she arrived, she found only an empty apartment with white walls. No paintings, no furniture, just a single canvas propped against the window, showing a man trapped behind painted glass, his mouth open in a silent scream. She picked up the painting, examining the incredible detail. The figure looked so real, so familiar. As she stared, the painted man began to mouth words she couldn't hear but somehow understood. "Get out, before it starts again." She dropped the canvas and backed toward the door. But the painted man was right. It was already starting. A thin line of cerulean blue appeared on the pristine white wall beside her, growing longer with each passing second. Somewhere beyond the wall, she heard the distant sound of waves crashing against an impossible shore, calling her into a world that existed only in pigment and nightmare.